Alrighty, everybody. Steve here from The Varied Life. As you can see the little picture there, you can go on YouTube and check out the channel. It has a culmination of a lot of different things: exercise, fitness, or retiring in Korea. That's kind of interesting, but also some hobby stuff. So besides doing some 3D resin printing, I don't know if you can see that guy there, but I do some painting and some stuff. And with that, with the resin printing, I'm thinking about getting into FDM printing or filament printing. And one of the products that I was looking at was the Bambu Labs A1. Now, seen lots of videos, Uncle Jesse and a number of other, great printing YouTube people, did the reviews, show what it can do and how great this thing was. Unfortunately, what we end up seeing is that the new A1 from Bambu Labs is being recalled. And I almost pulled the trigger, but the only reason I didn't pull the trigger is because of the build size. I wanted something a little bit bigger. But I was this close to just getting that thing. And so what we're going to end up doing is taking a look and show you what exactly is going on. So here it is. This is on CNET. There's been other articles about it as well. It's not long, but Bambu Labs recalls the new A1 3D printer over cable damage issue. If you recently purchased the new A1 from Bambu Labs, check out the cables as they might be damaged. Now, the cable that they're talking about is the power cable on the back. Not the power cable, that's the power cable there, but a cable that goes from the main chassis up. And apparently that can get damaged. So that's what they're talking about there. And it ends up that they're doing a recall, and you can go to their forum or to their page in their forum, and you can fill out a form, and then you can get yours sent in if it has damage, and they will replace your machine. In other words, they're probably going to put a better and newer strain clamp on that cable, so it doesn't run into these problems. What some people found was that during shipping, there wasn't enough packaging material or foam to protect that connection, so there would be pressure put on so that cable would actually dip over, as you see right there, and cause it to have problems, which ended up being a fire hazard. So rough handling during transportation, dropped in certain directions, so the root of the cable is impacted. During installation of the base is vertically placed on the table with the cable side at the bottom all the way to the printer will be concentrated on the root of the cables and cause damage. So in other words, there was enough power through there to cause a physical problem and a fire damage. After installation, the cable's root on the printer base is impacted by external force by accident. So in other words, if you push that up against a wall or something like that, that could potentially be a fire hazard. But it's enough of a hazard that they recalled. So they have two different issues in which you can do. And one of them is that if your cable is damaged, you can tell by the squeezed in shape of the cable you see that little bump that you see there. You can fill out this form on their website and to have the damaged machine shipped back and a new one sent out. If you find damage on your A1 cable, you should stop using it immediately and fill out the form as soon as possible. Otherwise, there's a possibility of your printer catching fire. If your printer doesn't have any damage, you can print out a 3D cable guard that will attach to your A1 to protect the cable from getting that little kink that's going on there, which is really good. It's the responsible thing to do, and the review unit that CNET received shows some early signs of damage, but I don't remember it being there when I first started using it. The A1 review unit has had about 240 hours of use, and at some point in a somewhat confined space, so they will be reaching out. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, and that the Bambu Labs called out and said, hey, there's this problem with the machine, and being in a responsible company would do these such things, and they're going to take a hit on this, but it's better than the alternative of not dealing with it and just kind of letting sleeping dogs lie. That would not be the way to go about this. So this ends up definitely something that people need to deal with and to check to see what is going on in regards to their machines and everything, especially for the new A1s. Now, the reviews on the A1s have been really favorable because you can get it as the A1 and it comes with an AMS multi-spool color system thingy. And basically, it's getting to the point of where 3D FDM printing can become plug and play. So it's becoming more and more user friendly as compared to 10 years ago or so, even longer, where if you wanted to get into 3D printing, it was more, you spent more time tinkering on the 3D printer than actually printing itself. Now we're getting to the point of where companies like Bambu and Prusa, FL Sun, and Creality, and so on and so forth, their products are getting better and better over time. But with that being said, with this product recall, that is something that we need to keep an eye on, because having a product recall isn't really a good thing. And that's another reason why I wait before I buy a product. And I was into guns, I was into ammo, I was into training, I was into all that stuff. And there's a lot of firearms that came out that were brand new to the market, and there was a lot of problems over time, not with every single firearm, but there have been firearms that had lots of problems after a certain amount of time where defects came out after extended use. So that's kind of what we're seeing here with the Bambu Labs A1. If that gets fixed, obviously it's still going to be a very good printer. But for me personally, that's why I wait to see, it's kind of like, before you buy a brand new phone, let's wait a year and see what happens. I'm in no rush to get a phone or a watch or a gun or anything. I'll let other people deal with the bumps and the hiccups that come along with getting a new product. And the good thing is that Bambu Labs has said, they're going to do the recall. They have a couple of ways to deal with the issue. Personally, if it was me, if I had one of those, even if I didn't have damage, how long is it going to take for it to incur that damage, and how long are they going to, so yeah, it's just kind of a problematic thing. You buy a product and you want it to work, and it obviously has some problems, and but the company's good and they're going to make it right to their customers. So that ultimately is a big thumbs up. So, with 3D printing and all the stuff that's going on, it's really interesting. This comes into mind with any new printer that comes to market or any new product. Kind of like, the electric vehicles. Oh, there's the greatest electric vehicle in the world. Next thing you know, in the winter, people can't drive 100 miles, with their new electric vehicle that was supposed to go 300 miles on a charge. Or they can't even charge them, as they found out in New York, because it's too cold and the chargers don't work. Or a combination of those things. So it's really important that we get to a place of where, companies are getting better and better, and it's getting to a point of where it's kind of like big electronic items, like the microwaves. When microwaves first came out, or any electronic devices, you had some bumps in the roads and problems and recalls and so on and so forth. But eventually it got to the point of where you buy a microwave or you buy a stereo or a TV, you're not going to have any problems. It's going to work as advertised. And that's the great thing about 3D printing, is with all the advancements in technology, we're getting to a place of where it's truly a plug and play device. Now, minus, this little safety hiccup thing, I'm still wary on, different types of printers. And, with that being said, for example, the FL Sun is coming out with their T1 and their S1, which boast some crazy, incredible speeds for printing, and it's going to blow, if it lives up to the hype, it's going to blow past Bambu in regards to speed and other companies, if the quality and the speed can stay high, at a high state. And that's a Delta style printer. It's not a Core XY or a bed slinger like we saw with the A1. There was a time where I think it was said that Bambu said, we're never going to do bed slingers again, and then lo and behold, it's like, nope, we're here's our bed slinger, But even with things like the FL Sun S1 and T1, now when I found out about FL Sun, it was like, wow, these stats are spectacular. Look at their V400 or their speed racer or super racer or whatever it is. Pretty impressed with that. But there were still problems that I'd seen from a number of people and seen online about the FL series and so on and so forth. But then you can pretty much say that with every 3D printer that has come out. There's problems with the Bambu X1C, with the P1P, the P1S, with Creality, the QD, the big XL or whatever they have. They haven't got to the point where it's plug and play and nobody has any problems. We just haven't gotten there yet. But right now, my money is I'm looking towards the FL Sun, and it hasn't been released yet. You get little 30 or 60-second videos from the FL Sun, but even as excited as I am about the FL Sun S1 and their T1, the S1 being their larger and more featured 3D Delta printer, the T1 is kind of a scaled down version, still have some impressive build plates, still impressive speeds, and so on and so forth. Even when those come out, I'm definitely going to be waiting until some people do reviews and so on and so forth, and then because everybody jumps on buying the brand new thing, and that's a thing. Some people like buying the brand new products right from the get-go. But usually, what I've noticed, especially in the area of 3D printing, and more on the electronic side of the house, kind of like the Kickstarter programs and so on and so forth, is they are more fraught with hiccups and require, the firmware upgrades and require, this or that, or, whatever. Have you turned it off and turned it off again? Did that fix the problem? Or, flash or do some type of procedure to get the thing going. I'd rather have other people work through that. But, and that's the only reason when I found the FL Sun is that I was also ready to plunk down some money for that. But I missed the pre-order. And then in hindsight, after all the hype and the emotion and, ooh, this is going to be great, I settled back into my old self and was like, you know what, let's just wait. The world's not going to end if I don't get this. If I get this, 4 months sooner than later, it's not really going to make a big difference. I've got resin printing, I'm painting miniatures, and like I said, I got the little guys, and finished up this guy here, which ended up being really, I don't know if you can see that guy. No. But anyway, yeah, it just ends up. It's not going to kill me to wait, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 6 months. It's not going to be that big of a deal to me. So, with that being said, yeah, it doesn't hurt to wait. It doesn't hurt to wait. And you can fill your time doing other stuff. You can do more research when it comes to getting that first printer. And I know a lot of people are Bambu fanboys and girls, and just get the X1C or just get the P1S or the P1P. And I was pretty tempted on that until I saw the FL Sun. But again, we're still faced with the problem of the FL Sun and other new printers that came out on the market that haven't even been on the market for 6 months. And that's kind of let's wait and let somebody else deal with all the headaches. Let's wait until they work out all the kinks, they get the big firmware upgrades done, and then it'll be smooth sailing, and then we'll be able to get a look and see where does this really stand? Where is this product really going to go? But with that, yeah, the Bambu Labs A1. A1. And let's just kind of go over this for the Bambu Labs because I want to take a look at it again. So, no, not that. That's what we want. We don't want the Facebook thing. This is what we want. And this is the Bambu Labs. And yeah, it comes with a 4-spool AMS, which is really nice. And but still, the build area is 256 by 256 by 256, which is the same build area as their X1C, which is the same build area as their P1 series. And you can get it as a combo for, what does it end up here? Lead time coming soon. Wow. Okay, so it's $559. I mean, that's pretty good for that combo. If you just did the A1 by itself, it's $399. That is really good. So whether you get the multi-spool AMS that comes with it, or whether you just buy the A1 by itself, it's really putting itself into the place of where you can get a reliable machine to put out some good quality prints without a lot of money as compared to a lot of others. So active flow calibration, active motor noise canceling, full auto calibration, that's going to be a thing to take into consideration, and auto bed leveling, one clip quick swap nozzle, good size build area, multicolor printing, active flow rate compensation, auto calibration, noise canceling, so on and so forth. Core XY quality, sync with Bambu Studios, and all of that. And yeah, there's a number of things that you can use with this. Yeah. So PLA, PETG, TPU, PVA, not recommended, are ABS, ASA, PCPA, PET, carbon fiber, glass fiber, reinforced polymers. But for just getting into 3D printing, I mean, $559 to get a printer and a 4-spool AMS where you could do color printing with different colors, that is pretty good. And even if you just go Barney Basic, just with the A1 itself, that's $399. So basically, with some shipping or whatever, you're $400. You throw on a reel of filament or two. I mean, you're ready to go. And the ease of use of this is really good as well. Let's see what some of the other stuff that they end up having. Fully enclosed printers. Oh, and now the A1 from $299. What? From $299? A1 with AMS Lite, A1 Mini. That comes out to $299. So the A1 Mini. Oh, the A1 Mini. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. So yeah, even for $300, you can get the A1 Mini. What is the build area on that? Plug and play, multi-printer, AMS, calibration, all that high-speed stuff. Build volume 180 by 180. Okay, so that's the difference between the Mini and the A1. Is the Mini is 180 cubed and the A1 itself is 256 cube. So yeah, I mean, Bambu has got a lot of good stuff. The X series, you're looking at $700. Oh, that's the P1S for like $700. P1P, $600. X1 Carbon, you're looking at $1,450 with the AMS by itself. It's $1,200. Yeah, so I mean, they've got some great products there. But again, as with anything else that I do, I've been in enough hobbies. I'm 57 years old, and I've seen there, been there, done that, and I know and have been bitten by that. Ooh, buy new, and then you have problems later on. So I try to alleviate all those problems by waiting. But and it's really interesting. I've seen actually some people on socials that are like, talking bad about Bambu Labs, saying, they just used the cheapest parts they could find, and shame on them. And it's like, okay, but that's not really necessarily a bad thing. It just didn't work out in this instance. So they recalled the products, and they're going to make it right. So actually, they're a pretty responsible company. To try to demand 100% perfection in anything, any product is kind of crazy. I mean, that's what we all expect is perfection. But again, these companies are run by humans. These things are made by humans. There is human error involved at pretty much every level of a product coming to market. So, part of me it says, yeah, it's kind of, they skimped in a little bit, but more I see it as them being responsible and owning up to it and immediately coming to and saying, hey, we're going to fix this, we're going to make it right. So, but there's a lot of people out there that I've read that are bad mouthing Bambu Labs for this recall, and I just don't get that point of view. They say, oh, well, if I buy a product, it should work 100%. And it's like, yeah, nothing in the world is 100% except for death and taxes. So, yeah, good luck with that. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Put your comments in the comment section down below. What do you think about electronic devices? Should they be 100% perfect all the time, every time? What do you think of the actions of Bambu Labs by doing the recall, offering different ways, and coming forward so soon in this process of learning of this problem? That seems like they're on the ball. Now if they waited 6 months or a year or 2 years before they did the recall, then I would probably have a different point of view. But the fact that they're catching this early on and making it right, that seems like a good thing in my book. So anyway, put what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll see what happens. All right, have a good one. Peace. Yeah.